Hi everyone, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and I am doing day 12 of Dephemerember 2022, hosted by 49 Dragonflies and Louise Heinzel. So yep, I already did the Handmade stamp and jumbo tag, so today is lace and postcard. So I'm going to set this guy out of the way. So what I was thinking is I gathered some stuff. I don't have any actual postcards, so I'm going to have to do a faux postcard. But I have, you know, some lacy bits, some actual lace, some paper that kind of has a lacy look to it, you know, stuff of that nature. And then I also have this punch that, you know, punches a very lacy pattern out. And as you can see, it's not the easiest stamp in the world to use. Let's see, where do I line up? You know, but when you line this up somehow, I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to be lining up. And it continues the pattern, supposedly. I haven't used this very much, because as you can see, it's not, you know, the easiest stamp in the world to use. Or not stamp, I keep saying stamp, I don't mean stamp, punch, that's what it's called. So let's go ahead and trim that off. And then we've got this pretty paper lace edge that we can use. We can actually just trim that off too, so we have a nice even bit. And let's see, we could even trim it down some. And try and do this again on the other side. Let's see how well I do at that. Let's see. I'm trying to line up I can just barely see the tip of this one. I'm trying to line it up so that way it'll match, if that makes sense. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then line it up here. And punch, maybe, come on, I can do it. Okay. So, alright, so that one didn't, you know, punch out perfect, but that's okay. Maybe I can kind of round that out just ever so much, a little bit with my scissors. It won't look exactly the same, but it'll take off a little bit of that sharp edge from where I got it wrong. Yeah, that looks better. So now I have this little bit of lace, and now I have all these bits all over the desk. So we'll just dump that off to the side. Okay. So I have these bits of very thin cardboard that I thought I would just trim down ever so slightly to be rectangular, more postcard-esque shape. These are just the packaging out of a couple of fat quarters. Quilting fabric, but like cereal box, this is a good like cereal box weight, you know, that would work too. And then I found these images in an old children's textbook, so I'm going to kind of line that up. Let's see, let's do it this way. Let's see. Better to cut off. We can cut off a few of the little legs. I know that sounds terrible, but we can totally do that. So what I'm going to do is just roughly cut this down. And move that piece out of our way. And then that way I can line it up a little easier. You know, I know where my image is a little better. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it made sense to my brain to do it that way. So that's the way I did it. You know, and isn't that the awesome thing about paper crafting? Is that it really is personal preference. You know, you get to have total control here. You have, you know, final say. This is stuff you're making for you for the most part, you know, because you love it. Some of us are creators and we create, you know, journals to sell or to give away and that kind of stuff, and that's awesome too. But, you know, when you're first starting out, generally what you're making is stuff for yourself. And that's a great place to start. So there we go. Got that glued down. And then just going to go back and just with my scissors very carefully trim around. Or not so carefully, your call. You can rip this. You don't have to trim it with scissors. I went ahead and went with scissors because I left just the smallest edges here, and that would be really hard to tear and have it look nice. So, and it's a little askew, but that's totally fine because that now gives us some place to put a little bit of laces. Let's see, we've got this little piece of paper lace that we created. Nope, I don't like that on that side. But let's see, let's grab one of these bits. That looks kind of cool. Let's see, I think this one's a little bit lacier, maybe. Yeah, and that fills the space a little bit better. So I'm just going to run some glue. Now I'm not worried about making this mailable. So if you're going to try and make it mailable, you know, make sure you check into all the regulations and how thick things need to be and how well they need to be secured and all that. I'm not worried about that today. So, total, again, personal preference. So, there we go. And then on this side, I'm gonna grab a pen, make sure that right. Oh, that's bright blue. We don't want blue. Let's see. Sorry about that. Just trying to find a pen. And my black pen fell on the ground, and my pens or my chair is super noisy. But okay, so here we go. And then let's see, on the other side of the postcard, you usually got the few lines. You know, for the name and the address. I'm actually going to go ahead and add a fourth line in there because these are really short lines. And then we put the stamp up here, you know, and that gives you all the space to, you know, write your note to whomever you're writing it to in. So that's one. And I'm going to do this one similar but different. See, I think what I'm going to do is I think on this one, you know, a lot of times on postcards there was that, you know, center line. So I'm going to use this as that center line. And I think it's totally fine that it doesn't reach totally top and bottom. I think it's close, and I think that's totally good enough. I think it'll still look cute. Yeah. And then over here we'll add the two. And a line. And another line. And our address lines. There we go. We'll go ahead and take these all the way out to this edge. There we go. So that's the back. And then on the front, I was thinking this little dude in a boat. I think he looks really cute. He's not going to be quite tall enough, is he? What about this? Should we go with this one instead? Yeah, I think we're going to go with this one instead. So, trim that off. And then, yeah, just glue it. Because I can always go back and add a little bit more glue if I need to, want to, whatever. You know. Oh, sorry about bumping that. Put some more glue all around. Just remember, I tend to overglue. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's using an awful lot of glue, yeah, you're probably right. I am using an awful lot of glue. It's kind of my thing. You know, we each have our own little bad habit when it comes to our crafting. You know, some people are really, really messy with their stuff, which I'm pretty messy with my stuff too, but or they're really wasteful with their glue or sloppy with this product or whatever. My thing is that I use a lot of glue. But yeah, see how you can just tear it, you know, right down there along that edge if you want. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just tear it like so. And then I think I'm going to add this bit of lace. Obviously I'm going to have to cut it down. But I think I'm going to add this little bit of lace. Let's see. What if I don't cut it? What if I just fold it down and have it be layered? Do I like that? No, not really. Okay, so I'm going to roughly trim it down. And then that's roughly where I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it folded about where I was wanting it. And go ahead and trim it up. I'm not worried about it being super precise. I'm not a super precise kind of person. But go ahead and take your time and be as careful as you want to with that. And I'm going to go ahead and flip this guy over and just put some glue on the heaviest bits, you know, where it's this most solid. Just tapping it on there just a little bit. Hopefully I don't get too much spooge through. Tap, tap, tap. Dabbing, dab, 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 you know. There we go. Like so. Okay. And I think we need to add just a little thin bit more glue just right along here. You know, glue stick might work good for this too. I don't know, I haven't used too many glue sticks. You know, I was using the Craft Create glue stick there for a minute, and you know, it's good, but I don't think to use it. You know, and so it's one of those. It's probably a great glue stick if I could remember to use it. But other glue sticks have not done well for me. I've tended to be quite disappointed with them, and I feel like I need something else along here. Let's see, do we want just another bit of this lace? Maybe this piece. No, I don't like that. What about something like this? Let's see, I've got this piece. Kind of like that contradiction between the, you know, the very old here, but it ties in because of the pinks. Yeah, I like it. So I'm going to glue right along in here. Pretty decent stream, especially over that glue, or over that lace, I mean, to make sure that it'll stick pretty good. Lay it down. There we go. Now we've got a couple of postcards, lacy postcards. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And to go type in that dephemerember and go check out what everybody else is doing. There's a ton of awesome inspiration out there. So, thank you so much.